Pawn c2 to c4. Pawn e2 to e4.
Pawn e7 to e6.
Pawn d2 to d4.
Pawn d7 to d5.
Pawn e4 to e5.
Knight g8 to e7.
Knight g1 to f3.
Knight b8 to c6.
Bishop c1 to g5.
Queen d8 to d7.
Knight b1 to c3.
Knight e7 to g6.
Pawn h2 to h4.
Pawn h7 to h6.
Bishop g5 to d2.
Knight c6 takes d4.
Knight f3 takes d4.
Knight g6 takes e5.
Queen d1 to h5.
Drop pawn at f6.
Drop knight at b5.
Queen d7 to e7.
Pawn f2 to f4.
Knight e5 to c6.
Queen h5 to e2.
Knight c6 takes d4.
Knight b5 takes d4.
Drop knight at g3.
Queen e2 to b5.
Drop pawn at e7.
Rook h1 to h3.
Pawn a7 to a6.
Rook h3 takes g3.
Pawn a6 takes b5.
Knight c3 takes b5.
Queen e7 to d8.
Drop pawn at b6.
Rook a8 takes a2.
Rook a1 takes a2.
Drop pawn at f2.
King e1 takes f2.
Bishop f8 to c5.
King f2 to g1.
Bishop c5 takes d4.
Knight b5 takes d4.
Drop knight at e4.
Drop bishop at e1.
Knight e4 takes g3.
Bishop e1 takes g3.
Drop rook at e1.
Pawn b6 takes c7.
Queen d8 takes c7.
Rook a2 to a8.
Drop pawn at e7.
Drop knight at a7.
Drop queen at c4.
Drop knight at e2.
Rook d1 takes d2.
Drop knight at b5.
Queen c7 to d8.
Drop pawn at c7.
Drop bishop at e3.
Drop pawn at f2.
Queen c4 takes c7.
Knight b5 takes c7.
Queen d8 takes c7.
Rook a8 takes c8.
Queen c7 takes c8.
Knight a7 takes c8.
Bishop e3 takes d4.
Knight e2 takes d4.
Rook d2 takes d4.
Drop queen at c7.
Drop knight at h3.
King g1 to h1.
Drop rook at g1.
King h1 to h2.
Drop knight at g4.
King h2 takes h3.
Rook g1 to h1.
King h3 takes g4.
Drop knight at e5.
Queen c7 takes e5.
Pawn f6 takes e5.
Drop knight at d6.
King e8 to d8.
Drop bishop at c7.
King d8 takes c7.
Drop knight at b5.
King c7 to c6.
Drop queen at b6. Checkmate.